Springtrap is one of the most recognizable characters in the FNAF franchise. Ask someone who has never heard of Five Nights at Freddy's and they will know who Springtrap is, I bet you. But he didn't get this treatment from nowhere. Springtrap was at one point one of the best villains ever, both from a design standpoint and a writing one, which is why he deserves all the praise he gets, is what I would have said a couple of years ago. But the way modern FNAF handles Springtrap is less than impressive. It's actually just sad the state that he's in. But to actually find out why this is, we first have to understand what made Springtrap so appealing in the first place. This is how Springtrap's image was mutilated. What makes Springtrap a great horror villain comes down to three things: his presence, his genius, and his design. First, let's take a look at his presence. Springtrap's first example of this comes from the FNAF 2 Death minigames, back before he became Springtrap and was just William Afton. There's 3 minigames showing us this, the first being Give Cake the Children. During this minigame, while we are distracted completing the objective, in the top we can see William stepping out of his car and murdering a child. In the second example, Foxy Go Go Go, we run twice into a room with children, no problems there. But the third time, William is present in this corner, and when we enter the room, the children are all dead. The last minigame has us as Freddy following the puppet through the pizzeria. We see a dead kid in one of the hallways. In the next room, William moves towards us, ending the minigame. While it might not seem like it, I believe that this does a very good job at cementing William Afton as a dangerous and almost untouchable presence. The fact that in the first 2 minigames we can't actually interact with William or stop him, to me makes him seem like he's more powerful than he actually is. Put this with the fact that in the only minigame where we interact with him we technically lose. It definitely makes William seem very dangerous, which is everything you want in a great horror villain. FNAF 2 does well at shaping Springtrap's character early on in the series, but there is one more game that puts an even scarier image in our heads when we think of Springtrap. None other than the game itself where William becomes Springtrap, Five Nights at Freddy's 3. FNAF 3 is probably the best example to show off how horrifying of a character Springtrap is. Take this example from night 2. It's the start of the night. On the previous one, no animatronics were present at all. This makes you let your guard down. You open the cameras and bam, Springtrap is standing right there. My favourite thing about FNAF 3 is the game's interesting use of the camera angles to show off many of Springtrap's menacing poses. They are easily the best way this game uses Springtrap to just show how dangerous of a threat he is. I'll elaborate on this more when we get to his design. One other really good example for his presence is in, again, minigames, but instead of these happening after you die like death minigames, they happen after every night is completed. Basically, after finishing the night, you will be able to play as one of the 4 main animatronics. Whichever one you play as, you will follow Shadow Freddy through the pizzeria until you get to where the safe room is. This prompts William to rush out of his hiding spot and dismantle you. While not being my favourite example, I still thought I'd mention it, as it is very impressive to be able to dismantle all of the FNAF 1 animatronics. I think you get the point. When you think of Springtrap, you think of a horrifying, untouchable serial killer, just like other great horror villains. But that isn't all William has to offer. Let's move on to another thing that made up Springtrap's well-written character, his genius. This is less of a Springtrap thing and more of a William thing. William Afton is a smart man, both in manipulating people and also with technology. One of William's most famous inventions were the Funtime animatronics. These robots acted as high-quality performing animatronics, but also acted as child kidnapping machines that could store kids in their suits. While being extremely messed up, the fact that he was able to build these goes to show just how smart he is. In the books, William Afton was known to have made these small circles called illusion discs. These used high-pitched sounds to change how an animatronic looks, making something that looks like this turn into this. The fact that he was able to do this at all, even before the 2000s, is crazy. But his smarts also extends to his ability to manipulate almost anyone. Countless times throughout the series, he has manipulated people, usually ending in their deaths. I mean, the whole series started because William tricked kids into following him into the back room. In The Silver Eyes, William tricks our main characters into thinking he's a mall security guard and they can trust him to tour them around the pizzeria hidden in the mall. He ends up trying to kill them. This is probably his most important attribute. I mean, how would he get anywhere without being a manipulator? Lastly, we have Springtraps Design, and this is just as important as the rest, as well as helping to make his presence even more immense. Something I really like about his design is the withering. It's just so perfect. It's hard to actually explain, but it's just enough where it's not too cluttered, but not lacking. The organs of William Afton being in the suit is perfect too. It makes him grotesque and really horrifying, kinda like the necromorphs from Dead Space. Something that I think also belongs in design is how he's used on stuff like the cameras. These FNAF free camera angles are some of the scariest things in all of the series. The glowing eyes in the shadows, his blank soulless stares, even him eyeing you down in the office, it's just perfect. You guys get it. Springtrap's character was everything a great horror villain should have been. So let's see how modern FNAF fucks this up. First, let's go in order of games, so we move on to Pizzeria Simulator. In this game, Springtrap is now called Scraptrap and looks like this. Now, what can I instantly see about this is it ruins his design. This is ugly. This is not good. The withering looks like pixels and his big ugly head looks like a peanut. It doesn't even make sense in the lore. This isn't the same suit we had last saw him in, meaning in the middle of FNAF 3 and 6, he had to climb his organs out of this suit and put them into this one, which is so dumb. But even if that's possible, he didn't have any bones in his original design. It was just red squishy stuff, no bones. So it doesn't make any sense why we can see this thing right here. Anyway, other than that, I think his presence is very well done. Just look at this salvage screen, it's beautiful. Scraptrap isn't even as bad as some of the other ones, it's just this is where the cracks start to show. Our next example comes from FNAF Help Wanted, where this game has Glitchtrap. Instantly, I can say his design is so much better. It looking like a sewn up suit that can be handcrafted is so cool. It's honestly one of my favourite Springtrap adjacent designs I've ever seen. He also doesn't let down the presence. While Glitchtrap isn't really a scary threat like in FNAF 3 and Pizza Sim, he's definitely more sadistic, like his creepy dance with him waving in the ending, where he shuts the door on you. The way he moves is so eerie and creepy, I love it. But it's not all praise. Springtrap's character should be dead, not continued on. But it could be argued that this was necessary to build up Vanny, which was supposed to be the new villain, but they barely went anywhere with that, so what's the point? Anyway, speaking of Vanny, let's move on to Security Breach. I don't even know where to start. Burntrap is the worst thing that has ever happened to Springtrap's character ever. It's actually just sad. And if you say that Burntrap isn't canon, shut up. They only made him not official after everyone reacted negatively to him. First, his design isn't as bad as Scraptrap's, but it makes it even more different from the original. And it's so weird, why does this keep happening? You can go and say that his suit was too broken, so Vanny was using new parts to rebuild it. But then why does he have more bones? And has he been looks maxing? His jaw wasn't that good before. His presence is terrible too. He seems so powerless. He can't even kill you himself. He has to use Freddy or the other glam rocks to do that. And his smarts is stupid too, mostly because the game has some plot holes, but still, like, he's so dumb and stupid. Oh, I hate him so much. Worst thing for this entire franchise. Burntrap is the worst version of Springtrap I have ever seen, and it's actually so disappointing how a character so good, so influential for FNAF could be ruined this bad. The cracks were showing in the other games, and they just couldn't stop it. There's a reason Dead by Daylight used the original Springtrap for the collab. Modern Springtrap is a shell of what it used to be. I'm finally uploading on a consistent schedule, feels good. My mic broke halfway through, at least I think it did. Tell me, did any of you hear a difference in audio around the switch between Springtraps Intelligence and Design? Because that's when I think it broke. Anyway, you can take this as a kinda Halloween special video just because it's, well, October and nothing really Halloweeny to it, I guess. I have some more Christmassy things planned for the December season, but you'll have to wait for that. Anyway, love you guys, and yeah, that's about it. See you in the next one. Bye.